Before we cross into the unknown, leave a hello in the comments. Even the smallest signal can ripple across galaxies, guiding fellow wanderers to this tale. Let me know you're out there. A voice among the stars, listening with me beyond the veil. Engines roared across the void as Terran destroyer Valiant pierced the wormhole's shimmering edge. Commander Rhea Marlowe gripped the console, sensing the wrongness in the void's hum. Months lost, presumed dead, now they emerged where no human had dared. The bridge crew exchanged silent, uneasy glances as sensors flared, reading uncharted energy spikes. Rhea's voice barely rose above the roar. We should not be here, but here we are. The ship's hull groaned, an unseen pressure against reality itself, as if space recoiled at their audacity. Deep in forbidden space, the Valiant drifted through wreckage. Alien cruisers shattered, shields collapsed, silence absolute. Among the debris, Earth's banner fluttered, shredded but unmistakable. Marlowe's pulse surged. Her crew had returned, yet the signs were unmistakable. Something had followed them through the wormhole. Something old. Something changed. A low hum vibrated through the hull, resonating with Terran tech in ways no one could explain. Rhea whispered to herself. They didn't survive. They brought it back. Weeks had passed, yet no signals reached Earth. Satellite surveillance flickered against empty star lanes, recording bursts of anomalous energy. Then nothing. Entire alien fleets blinked out of existence without warning. Admiral Vance Luther scowled at the displays, sipping lukewarm coffee. It's not a strike. It's a purge, he muttered, fingers tracing the data stream. Each spike aligned with unknown coordinates, each silence more ominous than the last. Earth's intelligence analysts were baffled. The galaxy's war map looked empty and wrong. The fleet's AI, normally a cold observer, beeped erratically. Luther leaned closer. Patterns? Terran patterns. He swallowed hard. The missing Valiant had returned, and somehow its signature lingered in every obliterated armada. Someone, or something, had rewritten the rules of engagement. His comm crackled. A junior officer gasped. Admiral, the ship's energy signature. It's evolving. Luthor clenched his jaw. Humanity had stepped onto the stage of galactic horror, and the curtain had already risen. As Marlowe's fleet approached the coordinates of the last energy spike, nebula gas twisted around them, reflecting faint light off mangled metal. The Valiant led, flanked by cruisers armed with experimental railguns. Keep formation, Rhea ordered, voice steady despite the tension. Crew scanned relentlessly, detecting shadows that shifted too fast, signals that didn't belong. Something was moving beyond sensors' reach. Fluid, hungry, and Terran modified. Suddenly, a pulse of energy ripped through the lead formation, knocking out shields. Rhea's hands flew across the console. The AI reported unidentified life forms, millennia old, yet adapting to Terran weaponry. The bridge hummed with dread and fascination. It's using our tech against us, muttered Lieutenant Korev. The fleet's engines strained, dodging strikes that felt alive, deliberate. Every moment revealed more. The void itself had become a battlefield, and the Valiant was its unwilling harbinger. On Earth's command deck, Admiral Luthor stared at incoming transmissions. Holographic debris fields shimmered, revealing the alien armada's destruction. Prepare a full war council, he commanded. Analysts scrambled. Every visual told the same story. Terran technology had fused with something ancient, predatory, and intelligent. They were not just weapons. They were evolution incarnate. Luthor's voice hardened. If the Valiant brought this back, we must understand it before it understands us. Back aboard the Valiant, Rhea's crew witnessed something impossible. Energy tendrils coiled around the ship's hull, restructuring, repairing, and reinforcing simultaneously. The vessel's weapons hummed autonomously, scanning targets beyond visual range. "It's alive," whispered Korev, awe mingled with fear. The Valiant no longer belonged entirely to them. It had become a hybrid of human ingenuity and alien ferocity. Rhea's jaw tightened. Humanity had changed, whether the galaxy was ready or not, cutting through the remnants of the enemy fleet. The hybrid Valiant led, firing railguns and plasma cannons with surgical precision. Alien vessels disintegrated before their eyes, shields melting to technology they didn't understand. Rhea's orders came sharp, tactical, lethal. Focus on command centers. Disable communication. Crew moved in perfect rhythm with the ship's evolving systems. A terrifying fusion of human will and Terran-augmented AI. From orbit, Earth's command watched in awe and horror. The hybrid ship carved a path through impossible odds, leaving no survivors, no trace, only energy readings and debris. Admiral Luthor muttered, This is what happens when humanity refuses to be erased." The Valiant had returned to the galaxy changed, and the first strike had rewritten the cosmic ledger. Somewhere, deep in the void, ancient forces stirred, noting the reckoning, and preparing to respond. Rhea guided the Valiant deeper into uncharted space. Nebula clouds twisted unnaturally, sensors detecting faint echoes of energy spikes. The crew whispered about shadows moving in the void, shapes too fast, too coordinated to be random. Lieutenant Korev studied the readings, brow furrowed. It's like the ship left a footprint, and something's following it. The Valiant's hull vibrated under invisible pressure, reminding them that the void had grown hostile. Suddenly, a wave of distorted gravity struck. The ship's AI struggled to compensate, shields flaring. Multiple signatures, converging, Rhea barked. Lights flickered, revealing the first glimpse of what had trailed them. A living construct of energy and metal, partially Terran, partially alien. It moved with intent, adapting instantly to the Valiant's maneuvers. Marlowe's grip tightened on the console. Humanity had awakened something that did not forgive, or forget. Back on Earth, Admiral Luthor's communications team intercepted fragmented alien transmissions. Distorted cries, mixed with mechanical clicks, implied awareness, intelligence beyond comprehension. Analysts struggled to decode patterns, revealing tactical data interwoven with ancient algorithms. "It's learning from us," muttered one officer. Luthor's eyes narrowed. Humanity had returned with a weapon they barely understood, and now the galaxy's balance shifted dangerously. On the Valiant, the hybrid systems pulsed rhythmically, responding to unseen threats. Crew noticed subtle changes, weapons recalibrating without command, shields forming adaptive layers. Marlowe's voice remained steady, but her mind raced. The ship had become more than Terran tech. It was evolving, sentient in battle. Each move they made was mirrored, enhanced, and redirected against enemy vectors before they even appeared. They were no longer merely surviving. They were orchestrating annihilation. The fleet approached the edge of the forbidden sector. Alien forces, regrouped from scattered remnants, had formed a defensive cordon. Sensors detected massive energy fluctuations, coordinates shifting erratically as if reality itself resisted observation. Rhea gritted her teeth. "They've had weeks to prepare, and so have we. Something else, something we don't fully control, is with us." The hybrid Valiant pulsed with a low hum, scanning alien formations. The AI's voice, usually emotionless, whispered alerts. Targets prioritized. Threat adaptation in progress. Crew watched as alien ships faltered under predictive strikes, every salvo anticipating their next maneuver. Korev muttered, half in awe, half in fear. "We didn't just bring a ship back, we brought evolution." Every pulse, every shot, felt like the galaxy was witnessing the rise of a new apex predator. Shaking the void as the first alien fleet engaged. Plasma arcs and railgun fire lit the darkness. The Valiant twisted and accelerated, its hybrid systems anticipating enemy trajectories. Crew hearts pounded, adrenaline mixed with terror and awe. Every weapon fired with precision, guided by both human intent and Terran-enhanced instinct. Alien vessels countered with adaptive energy shields yet faltered under the hybrid assault. One cruiser disintegrated mid-flight, its fragments forming glowing debris fields. Sensors captured anomalies, parts of alien tech integrating with the Valiant's energy emissions. Rhea's voice cut through the chaos. Focus on command nodes, disable coordination. The battle was a dance of death and intelligence. Humanity's return now a reckoning no species could ignore. A colossal energy wave swept across the battlefield. The Valiant shuddered under the pulse, yet absorbed it, feeding off alien energies. Crew exchanged wide-eyed glances. "It's consuming them," whispered Korev. Rhea's jaw tightened. Humanity hadn't just returned. They had brought a weapon that learned, adapted, and hungered. Every pulse was a heartbeat of vengeance. From orbit, Earth's command watched monitors in stunned silence. Admiral Luther clenched his fist. "They underestimated us. Everything thought lost is now alive." The hybrid ship tore through the fleet, leaving only silence and energy spikes as evidence. Something ancient had awakened, merged with Terran ingenuity, and it was no longer bound by orders. It hungered for a galaxy-wide reckoning. Humanity had rewritten the rules, and nothing would be the same. Earth's command monitored new energy signatures. Alien civilizations were reacting, war councils convening at impossible speeds, fleets converging on Valiant's last known coordinates. Admiral Luthor muttered, "They've never faced anything like this." The galaxy's silence was fracturing, replaced by frantic transmissions and countermeasures, but each effort faltered before the hybrid ship's predictive strikes. On the bridge, Rhea observed alien formations splintering under invisible pressure. The Valiant's systems pulsed, integrating scattered enemy energy and deploying counterattacks autonomously. Korev's voice trembled. "It's learning faster than we are." Sensors detected alien attempts to communicate, but the hybrid tech intercepted, adapted, and rerouted signals to neutralize enemy coordination. Humanity had returned, not to negotiate, but to dominate. Reports from the destroyed armadas streamed in. The debris carried fragments of alien technology fused with Terran modifications. Luther studied them, each shard a puzzle. How could Valiant's hybrid systems integrate so quickly? He scrawled notes across the holodeck, realizing the weapon wasn't just physical, it was systemic, adaptive, almost sentient. Meanwhile, Rhea's crew encountered anomalies. Living energy webs coiling around the ship, repairing hull breaches mid-battle. "It's alive," whispered Lieutenant Korev again, voice tense with awe. Every weapon, every engine output seemed guided by a conscious hand. Rhea's hands tightened on the console. Humanity had returned with more than technology. It had returned with a predator born of human ingenuity and alien evolution, hungry and unstoppable. Through the void, cutting across warped spatial coordinates. Communications flickered, distorted by unknown interference. Rhea tried multiple channels. Silence, punctuated by garbled alien cries. "They're trying to adapt," she murmured, "but it won't be enough." Sensors revealed waves of energy signatures converging toward a single point. Ancient tech, responding to Terran systems. Crew watched as the hybrid systems of Valiant pulsed brighter, reorganizing weapon outputs, shields, and sensors simultaneously. Korev traced readings along the holographic displays. "It's forming. A pattern. Something. Strategic." Marlowe's gaze hardened. Humanity had returned with a ship that didn't just fight. It predicted, evolved, and integrated. Every moment in this void escalated the stakes, and nothing would survive untested. The Valiant passed remnants of destroyed alien worlds. Ghost signals echoed faintly distorted cries, star systems' last communications. Rhea studied them in silence. We didn't just fight their fleets, we erased their echoes. Her voice barely carried over the hum of the engines. Each energy spike from the hybrid systems reverberated through space, a warning to civilizations yet untouched. Humanity had returned. The crew felt it, a strange resonance in the hull. Something ancient responded to the hybrid systems, as if awakening after centuries of slumber. Korev swallowed hard. It's aware. Not just the ship, the void itself is noticing. The Valiant moved like a predator through the stars, every pulse, every strike calculated. Humanity was no longer merely present. It was rewriting the rules of existence itself, in anticipation of the next strike. Rhea's fleet held formation, guided by Valiant's hybrid intelligence. Alien ships attempted new tactics, formations, and maneuvers, but each faltered, as if invisible hands were guiding the battlefield. Crew glanced at each other, unease mingling with awe. Humanity's return was more than war. It was evolution in motion. From orbit, Earth's command observed the carnage with both pride and fear. Admiral Luthor's voice was grim. They underestimated us, and now they face consequences they cannot comprehend. The hybrid ship pulsed with lethal intent, consuming energy, adapting strategies, and anticipating enemy actions. In the void, something ancient and Terran-born had awakened fully, and it hungered for vengeance, rewriting the galaxy's hierarchy with every pulse. As alien counterfleets reorganized, they fired volleys designed to exploit weaknesses, but the hybrid Valiant anticipated each trajectory. Crew gasped as railgun blasts redirected in mid-flight, energy shields reshaped, and counterattacks struck before enemies even completed their maneuvers. Rhea's voice was calm but tense. Keep focus, observe, don't interfere unless necessary. Lieutenant Korev studied the systems. Adaptive algorithms integrating alien technology in real time. It's rewriting itself with every engagement, he whispered. The Valiant's pulse synced with energy readings, a living battle rhythm. Humanity had returned with a weapon that evolved faster than any alien race could react to, and each heartbeat of the ship whispered a promise. The galaxy would pay attention or be erased. Through fractured space near a collapsing star, signals from destroyed fleets echoed faintly, distorted by the void's turbulence. The crew felt a hum beneath their feet, a vibration that seemed alive. Rhea scanned. Readings spiked unpredictably. It's responding, she murmured. The hybrid systems pulsed, almost sentient, integrating unknown energies from the void itself. Energy tendrils curled along the hull, feeding on ambient radiation and alien tech fragments. Korev leaned in, astonished. It's learning from the void, adapting to space itself. The ship's pulse quickened. Humanity had returned not only with advanced technology, but with a predator capable of rewriting environmental rules of warfare. Every star, every void, was now a battlefield under the hybrid's influence. Unknown probes flitted across the fleet's periphery. Sensors identified non-terrestrial patterns. Surveillance drones of immense sophistication, ancient and precise. Marlowe frowned. They've been observing us, waiting for the right moment. The hybrid systems hummed, almost in recognition, adapting defenses against invisible eyes. Korev traced energy emissions. The probes were feeding data back into alien networks, but the Valiant intercepted, rewrote, and redirected information in real time. They don't realize they've become part of our system, he whispered. Rhea's voice hardened. Humanity was no longer prey, no longer invisible. The hybrid ship had turned observation into control, a silent predator playing a galactic chess match, and the board had only just been set. Earth's command attempted to coordinate scattered fleets against hybrid-augmented enemy positions. Signals lagged, scrambled, and misdirected by interference they could not penetrate. Luther scowled. They're not just fighting. They're rewriting communication networks. Our fleets are blind before the battle begins. On the Valiant, Rhea observed the unfolding chaos with a mix of pride and unease. The hybrid systems moved autonomously, targeting alien command nodes, dismantling coordination in seconds. Crew whispered, fear and awe mingled. They weren't commanding the ship. They were riding a living weapon. Humanity had returned not only as combatants, but as orchestrators of a predatory calculus no alien had foreseen. The Valiant approached a collapsed star system, the epicenter of the hybrid's energy resonance. Sensors detected an anomaly, massive ancient constructs buried beneath the stellar debris, dormant for millennia. Marlowe's voice trembled with anticipation. Whatever this is, it's awake now because of us. The hybrid systems pulsed violently, interfacing with the buried technology. Energy spikes rippled across the void, reshaping gravity, magnetics, and local space-time. Korev's jaw tightened. It's merging. The ship and the Leviathan are one. Humanity had returned, but with it came a force ancient, Terran modified, and insatiably hungry. The rules of war had shifted, and the galaxy would soon learn the cost of underestimating humanity. As scattered Terran fleets converged on the hybrid's location, alien armadas, sensing the threat, formed counterlines, firing in synchronization. Rhea's eyes narrowed at the displays. The battlefield was a chaotic chessboard of energy pulses, shield harmonics, and weapon discharges. The Valiant led, pulsating with lethal intelligence, its hybrid systems predicting enemy maneuvers before they began. Lieutenant Korev scanned readings of alien energy surges. They're adapting, but so is she, he said, nodding toward the Valiant's hull. Each ship in the fleet adjusted to the hybrid's rhythm, creating a perfect synchrony of movement and firepower. Humanity had returned not just with weapons, but with a predator that orchestrated an entire fleet like a single organism, tearing through the enemy's defensive perimeter. Plasma arcs lit the void as the Valiant's railguns tore through cruiser hulls. Crew held onto consoles as feedback pulses from the hybrid systems adjusted targeting, shield output, and propulsion simultaneously. Rhea's calm voice cut through chaos. Focus on command cores. Cut the head off the snake. Alien countermeasures faltered, disrupted by a combination of adaptive weapons and predictive strategies. Energy spikes from the Valiant's core pulsed outward, destabilizing shields and weapon systems in seconds. Korev whispered, awestruck, "It's like the ship can think, and it's angry." Humanity had returned not just to fight, but to dominate. The first breach had been made, and it sent a message across the galaxy. The Valiant absorbed the energies of fallen alien vessels, integrating them into its hybrid systems. Crew could feel the ship's pulse strengthening, almost alive. Rhea studied the readings. Energy density, weapon calibration, shield modulation, everything increasing exponentially. "It's feeding," she said quietly, fear tinged with awe. Alien ships attempted coordinated strikes, but the hybrid responded instantly, redirecting weapons and deploying countermeasures. Korev's voice trembled. "It's evolving faster than we can track." The Valiant had become more than a ship. It was a predator, a living extension of Terran ingenuity and alien power. Humanity had returned not only to claim victory, but to reshape the very nature of galactic warfare, as space itself seemed to warp under the hybrid's energy fields. Gravitational anomalies twisted debris, ships, and energy pulses into impossible trajectories. Sensors struggled to provide coherent data. Rhea gritted her teeth. "The rules are changing. Reality itself is a weapon now," Lieutenant Korev observed on the tactical display, enemy formations collapsing before they could react, not to firepower, but to manipulated space-time distortions. The Valiant pulsed with a resonance that could destabilize entire fleets. Humanity had returned with a force that defied physics as the galaxy knew it, and the cost of underestimating it would be total annihilation. The Valiant approached the epicenter of energy anomalies, an ancient structure buried beneath a dying star. Holographic echoes of long-lost civilizations flickered on sensor arrays. Rhea whispered, "It's calling. Something is responding to us." The hybrid ship interfaced with the structure, sending waves of energy that awakened dormant systems. Korev's voice trembled. "It's communicating. Or assimilating." Humanity had returned with more than power. They had become the vector for an ancient sentient force fused with Terran ingenuity. The galaxy would never see warfare the same way again. The hybrid Valiant interfaced with the ancient structure. Pulses of energy cascaded across the void, illuminating star remnants. Rhea stared at the displays, awe-stricken. "It's learning from them," she whispered. The ship's systems hummed with a newfound intelligence, integrating alien technology with Terran design. Lieutenant Korev's voice trembled. "It's alive in a way we can't comprehend." Energy tendrils radiated outward, scanning the galaxy. The hybrid wasn't just a weapon. It was a sentient vector, connecting past civilizations, Terran ingenuity, and the void itself. Humanity had returned, and the Valiant had become something entirely new, a living reckoning. As alien fleets coordinated their first major counterstrike, missiles and plasma arcs tore through the void toward the hybrid-led fleet, Earth's command held its breath. Rhea's voice cut through the tension. "Focus fire on the approach vectors. Let the ship anticipate." The hybrid systems pulsed in response, absorbing energy signatures and redirecting them with lethal precision. Korev muttered, astonished, "It's predicting their strategies before they even commit." Alien vessels faltered, confusion spreading through enemy lines. Humanity's return had introduced a predator the galaxy could not yet comprehend, and the first real test was underway. The Valiant's systems displayed unprecedented complexity. Neural simulations interfaced with alien technology, adapting in milliseconds. Crew felt the ship's pulse sync with their adrenaline. Rhea's jaw tightened. "This isn't a tool. It's a mind, and it's ours." Partially. Lieutenant Korev analyzed new weapon recalibrations. It's thinking, evolving its strategy in real time. Every salvo, shield modulation, and energy pulse was no longer human-directed. It was a hybrid cognition at work. Humanity had returned with a ship that didn't just fight. It decided, adapted, and learned faster than any adversary could. Scattered alien factions began to quarrel. The hybrid's unpredictability had shattered their coordination. Admiral Luthor watched holodisplays of alien fleets turning on each other in confusion. "We've fragmented them, without a single direct strike," he muttered, awe mixing with unease. On the Valiant, Rhea felt the pulse intensify. Energy readings showed adaptive systems not only responding to enemies but subtly manipulating the battlefield to turn factions against one another. Korev whispered, "It's playing them, like pieces in a game." Humanity had returned with more than firepower. They had introduced a predator capable of rewriting strategy on a cosmic scale. As dark energy readings spiked near the hybrid's trajectory, unknown forces stirred in the void, ancient and intelligent, sensing the Valiant's awakening. Rhea's pulse quickened as the AI pulsed in resonance with the energy spikes. "We are not alone in this," she warned her crew. Lieutenant Korev studied the displays. Anomalies moving with intent, avoiding sensors, yet responding to hybrid signals. They're observing, or waiting. The Valiant hummed, almost acknowledging the presence. Humanity had returned, but something older had noticed, and the shadow of the galaxy's past hung poised to challenge their dominance. The rules were no longer only theirs to define. As alien fleets attempted a coordinated ambush, Sensors blinked erratically. Every attack was anticipated before weapons could fire. Rhea's voice cut sharply through the bridge. "They won't hit us. Not yet." The hybrid systems pulsed, redirecting enemy volleys into an empty void. Lieutenant Korev studied the battle map. Alien vessels were dissolving under indirect fire, their attacks turned against themselves. "It's rewriting the fight as it happens," he murmured. The hybrid Valiant had become a predator that didn't just respond, it reshaped conflict before it occurred. Humanity had returned with an intelligence the galaxy could not yet comprehend. The Valiant traced signals emanating from the ancient Leviathan structure. Echoes of civilizations long erased resonated in the void, intertwining with hybrid systems. Rhea whispered, "It's speaking, or listening." The ship pulsed in harmony with alien energy remnants, unlocking adaptive responses beyond comprehension. Korev shivered. "It's learning history, and using it." The hybrid had absorbed more than technology. It had absorbed knowledge, memory, and strategy, making humanity's return not just an act of war, but a resurrection of power long dormant in the galaxy. The alien lines fractured under hybrid coordination. Entire formations collapsed, redirected, and repelled by systems the crew barely understood. Rhea barked orders. "Target command nodes and communication hubs." The fleet responded seamlessly, almost anticipating her instructions. Lieutenant Korev noted energy pulses integrating alien tech with Terran systems in real time. "They're using our strategies against themselves," he said, awestruck. Humanity had returned not just as warriors, but as orchestrators of chaos, turning the galaxy's mightiest forces against one another with terrifying precision. As hybrid pulses stirred dormant constructs across nearby star systems. Ancient machines, long thought inert, responded to the ship's signals, awakening in fragmented energy bursts. Rhea's pulse quickened. "They're coming online." The Valiant hummed, interfacing with the awakened relics, guiding them to neutralize enemy fleets. Korev's voice trembled. "It's commanding history itself." Humanity's return had fused past and present. Ancient forces now aligned with Terran innovation, reshaping the battlefield before any adversary could respond. The galaxy had never seen war like this. The hybrid systems pulsed with anticipation. Sensors detected anomalies moving in silence, energy readings spiking unpredictably. Rhea gritted her teeth. "It knows we're coming." The void seemed to hold its breath. Lieutenant Korev watched the displays. Energy tendrils, alien tech, and hybrid pulses intertwining, creating an almost living pattern of destruction. "It's hungry," he whispered. Humanity had returned with more than vengeance. They had returned with a predator that consumed knowledge, energy, and strategy. The galaxy was about to learn the true cost of underestimating humanity. The Valiant approached the heart of the contested sector. Alien fleets, fractured and desperate, formed a tenuous barrier. Rhea's eyes scanned sensor arrays, reading energy pulses that bent reality. "We're stepping into the storm," she muttered. Every crew member felt it, a tension that rippled through the hull and into their bones. Lieutenant Korev tracked adaptive systems syncing with alien energy fluxes. "It's predicting chaos before it manifests," he said. The hybrid systems pulsed in anticipation, orchestrating shields, weapons, and propulsion in perfect synchronization. Humanity had returned not as participants but as arbiters of destruction, and the galaxy was about to witness a war unlike any before. As debris from a destroyed alien cruiser streaked past the fleet, the Valiant pulsed, absorbing residual energy and converting it into predictive algorithms. Rhea barked orders. "Analyze and deploy adaptive countermeasures." The ship responded instantly, weapons and shields dancing in perfect coordination. Korev studied the displays. The hybrid system had anticipated an entire enemy formation strategy before they acted. "It's learning faster than we can comprehend," he whispered. Humanity had returned with a predator that didn't just fight, it rewrote outcomes, bending the void itself to its will. The first warning was clear. The galaxy's dominance was up for grabs. The hybrid energy field distorted space-time near the battlefield. Alien fleets hesitated as their sensors faltered. Rhea felt the bridge pulse with the ship's rhythm, a living heartbeat she barely understood. "They can't predict us now," she said. Every weapon fired with precision beyond human comprehension, every maneuver anticipating enemy reaction. Lieutenant Korev traced spatial distortions in real time. Shields warped, energy beams bent, and projectiles curved through impossible trajectories. "It's rewriting physics in real time," he muttered. Humanity had returned with a predator that bent both strategy and reality, a force that turned the very fabric of space into a weapon. The galaxy's rules were changing with every pulse, as alien leaders convened frantic councils. Entire fleets had been shattered or turned against each other. Messages came too late, orders misrouted, coordination impossible. Admiral Luther's jaw tightened. They thought we were gone. Now they realized the cost of that mistake. On the Valiant, Rhea watched as the hybrid systems amplified, energy tendrils reaching into enemy formations like predatory claws. Korev's voice trembled. "It's consuming their strategies, their energy. It's unstoppable." Humanity had returned not as a fleet, but as a singular, sentient predator, rewriting every battle before it began. The galaxy's largest powers were facing extinction, or submission. The hybrid Valiant pulsed toward a massive energy anomaly, a buried Leviathan construct. Sensors detected movements and energy spikes that defied logic. Rhea whispered, "The storm is here. It knows us." The void itself seemed alive, responding to the ship's every pulse. Lieutenant Korev tracked energy tendrils interfacing with the Leviathan systems. "It's merging, not just with tech, but with intent," he said. Humanity had returned, and the hybrid had awakened forces older and more dangerous than any living fleet. The first colossal confrontation was imminent, and the galaxy would soon discover the true meaning of Terran vengeance. As alien armadas converged on the hybrid Valiant, energy fields rippled through the void, distorting sensors and projectiles alike. Rhea's eyes locked on the main display. "Brace for impact. This will be unlike anything we've faced." The fleet held formation, synchronized with the hybrid's pulse, anticipating the enemy's every maneuver. Lieutenant Korev monitored energy surges across multiple fronts. "They're coordinating, but it's too slow. The Valiant sees them before they act." Every salvo fired by human or hybrid systems struck with lethal precision. Humanity had returned not merely to fight, but to dictate the battlefield. The collision was imminent, and the galaxy would witness a predator unleashed. Plasma arcs, railgun rounds, and energy pulses lit the void. Alien ships reeled under hybrid-guided strikes. Rhea barked commands with unwavering precision. Focus fire on the command cores, disable communication lines. The fleet responded in perfect unison, a deadly dance orchestrated by Terran and hybrid synergy. Korev's hands flew across the tactical display. Shields modulated, weapons recalibrated, and countermeasures deployed in milliseconds. "It's thinking. Faster than any of us," he whispered. The hybrid Valiant was no longer just a ship. It was the apex predator of the battle, adapting, predicting, and annihilating with surgical intent. Humanity's return had become a reckoning. Energy spikes from the buried Leviathan surged outward, amplifying the hybrid Valiant. Rhea's pulse quickened. "It's alive, and it's joining us." The void itself vibrated as ancient constructs interfaced with Terran technology, amplifying every pulse, strike, and maneuver. Korev studied the fusion of human and ancient energy. It's not just assisting. It's anticipating, evolving, consuming enemy strategies. Alien fleets faltered under the Leviathan's resonance. Humanity had returned with a hybrid predator amplified by forces older than the galaxy itself. The first colossal confrontation was escalating into something unimaginable. As alien formations shattered under combined Terran and Leviathan assaults, shields collapsed, weapons misfired, and fleets scattered. Rhea's voice cut through the chaos. "Push forward, every strike counts." The hybrid Valiant pulsed with lethal intent, anticipating each move and adapting instantaneously. Korev traced energy pulses merging with the Leviathan systems, redirecting enemy volleys into their lines. "It's rewriting the battlefield as it goes," he said, awestruck. Humanity's return had become a force that could dominate space itself, turning alien coordination into disarray. The galaxy's largest powers were losing control. The hybrid Valiant carved a path through enemy fleets. Energy tendrils extended, assimilating technology, predicting moves, and amplifying the ship's lethality. Rhea's voice was calm but unyielding. "No mercy. Every strike must count." Lieutenant Korev studied the adaptive system's response curves. "It's calculating outcomes before they happen." Alien armadas fell one by one, their strategies disintegrating before execution. Humanity had returned, not just as warriors, but as a predator capable of rewriting the rules of war itself. The first colossal battle had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. Alien fleets faltered under hybrid guided strikes. Massive cruisers disintegrated mid-flight, shields collapsing in waves of energy feedback. Rhea's hands clenched on the console. "Every fleet we encounter, obliterate coordination, then destroy them." The Valiant pulsed, a predator orchestrating carnage with precision. Lieutenant Korev traced energy assimilation across enemy lines. "They're feeding it. Every shot, every shield fluctuation strengthens it." The hybrid had become more than a weapon. It was a living force, a predator consuming strategy, energy, and willpower. Humanity had returned, and the galaxy was unraveling under its calculated fury. Alien leaders launched desperate measures: kamikaze strikes, collapsing formations, and unstable energy weapons. Luthor's eyes narrowed. "They'll try anything, but it won't be enough." The Valiant anticipated each attempt, redirecting destruction with surgical precision. Rhea observed energy readings spiking beyond known limits. "It's evolving faster than the last engagement." Korev's voice trembled. "They're throwing everything at us, and it still adapts." Humanity's return had shifted the balance entirely. The predator was learning, growing, and no maneuver could survive its calculus. Debris from destroyed alien ships scattered across the void. Energy tendrils absorbed, rechanneling power into the hybrid systems. Rhea's jaw tightened. "Every echo strengthens us." The battlefield pulsed like a heartbeat, alive with adaptive response and lethal intent. Korev monitored system integrations. "It's using destruction as fuel, feeding intelligence off annihilation." The hybrid Valiant had transcended Terran design, becoming a predator that learned from every explosion. Humanity had returned not just to fight, but to dominate the void itself. The galaxy was being rewritten with each pulse. Alien forces regrouped near a collapsing star system. Energy anomalies from the Leviathan amplified the hybrid systems. Rhea barked commands. "Push forward, exploit every weakness." The fleet responded like a single organism, moving in perfect synchrony with the hybrid's pulse. Korev's fingers flew across the console. Shields, weapons, and propulsion synced to hybrid intuition. "They can't adapt fast enough," he whispered. Humanity had returned with a force that combined strategy, instinct, and ancient power. The turning point had arrived. The galaxy's largest armadas were unraveling before their eyes. The hybrid Valiant surged through enemy lines. Energy tendrils, ancient Leviathan resonance, and Terran technology fused into a living weapon of unparalleled precision. Rhea's voice was steady but fierce. Strike without hesitation. Leave nothing. Korev traced energy pulses weaving through enemy formations like a predator stalking prey. It's complete. We are the apex now. Alien fleets collapsed in disarray, their tactics devoured before execution. Humanity had returned not as survivors, but as a predator that had rewritten the rules of galactic warfare. The Void itself had acknowledged Terran supremacy. The Void fell silent. Alien fleets that had once dominated star systems now floated in scattered wreckage. Rhea's hands rested on the console, chest tight with tension. It's over, for now, she murmured. The hybrid systems hummed softly, as if acknowledging the end of the immediate threat. Korev scanned residual energy readings. Every pulse, it's still adapting, still learning. Humanity had returned, and though the battle was won, the predator aboard Valiant had grown beyond comprehension. The galaxy had been forced to recognize a new apex, one that would not relent and whose reach was limitless. Shattered alien empires attempted to regroup. Planetary defenses flickered feebly under hybrid scans. Admiral Luther's voice was hard. Send a message. They must understand. They cannot challenge us again. The hybrid pulsed, amplifying Terran broadcasts across multiple systems. Rhea watched enemy communications collapse in real time, intercepted and rewritten by hybrid algorithms. Korev muttered, "They're learning from their mistakes even as we strike." Humanity had returned not merely as warriors but as architects of domination, an apex predator reshaping the galaxy with precision and inevitability. The hybrid Valiant interfaced fully with the Leviathan construct. Energy cascaded through the hull, systems pulsing in unison. Rhea whispered, "It's giving us something." The ship's resonance amplified, augmenting weapons, shields, and predictive intelligence. Korev's voice trembled with awe. "It's beyond anything we built or found. It's alive." Humanity had returned with a predator enhanced by forces older than memory itself. The galaxy's balance had shifted irreversibly. The rules of war had been rewritten, and the apex had emerged. Transmissions from scattered alien survivors reached Earth. Messages were pleas, warnings, or threats, all intercepted, analyzed, and neutralized by hybrid systems. Rhea's expression was cold, resolute. They wanted war. Now they face judgment. Korev studied the system's energy feedback. Every attack, every strategy, it remembers, it anticipates. Humanity had returned with a predator that was relentless, adaptive, and unyielding. The galaxy would remember Terran vengeance, not as rumor, but as an unstoppable reality. Alien leaders began surrendering, offering planetary systems, technology, and knowledge. The hybrid Valiant pulsed in approval, a predator acknowledging the fall of its prey. Rhea's voice was calm, measured. "Take what they offer. We'll decide their fate, but let them see strength first." Korev recorded energy surges, noting adaptive feedback and assimilation of alien tech. Every gift, every surrender, it becomes part of us. Humanity had returned, not merely to reclaim the galaxy, but to integrate, evolve, and dominate. The apex predator had not only won, it had expanded its domain, preparing for the challenges yet unseen. A small but determined alien fleet staged a desperate counterattack. Their weapons fired with reckless precision, but the hybrid Valiant anticipated every trajectory. Rhea's hands moved with calm authority. "Engage defenses, but don't underestimate their intent." Lieutenant Korev watched adaptive systems dismantle attacks mid-flight. "It's neutralizing every threat before they know what hit them. Humanity had returned, and even the last pockets of resistance were no match for the predator they had awakened. The galaxy's final defiance was crumbling. The hybrid systems reached full integration with the Leviathan construct. Energy pulsed across the Valiant like a heartbeat, synchronized with every weapon, shield, and sensor. Rhea's voice was reverent. "It's complete and awake." Korev observed systems that no human mind could fully comprehend. It's beyond prediction. It decides, adapts, and enforces its will. Humanity had returned not as conquerors alone, but as the stewards of a sentient predator capable of reshaping entire civilizations. The apex had fully awakened. Energy waves radiated from the hybrid Valiant, sweeping across contested systems. Alien leaders sent their last appeals for negotiation. Rhea's voice was unwavering. The galaxy will respect strength, or it will suffer the consequences. The void pulsed in response, amplifying Terran dominance. Korev recorded adaptive feedback. The hybrid systems analyzed surrender, hostility, and energy fluxes simultaneously, assimilating every variable. Humanity had returned with a predator that transcended war. It now dictated survival itself. The galaxy's order was being rewritten by intelligence, power, and Terran will. Ancient Leviathan constructs stirred across multiple star systems, responding to hybrid signals. Ghostly echoes of civilizations long gone resonated with the ship's pulse. Rhea whispered, "They answer, but are they allies or witnesses?" Korev monitored the resonance. Energy pulses formed a web across space, integrating ancient technology with Terran innovation. Humanity had returned not only to fight, but to awaken a predator of history itself. The galaxy had shifted irrevocably. The apex now held dominion over both past and present. The hybrid Valiant drifted in orbit above Earth. Systems hummed, pulsing like a living heart. Rhea gazed at the stars, voice steady. "We came back, we survived, and we are no longer bound by old rules." The galaxy watched, silent and wary. Lieutenant Korev recorded the final system integration. "It's complete. The Predator, the Leviathan, and humanity, they are one." Terran ingenuity had fused with ancient power to create a force beyond reckoning. Humanity had returned, rewriting galactic history. The void itself acknowledged the apex, and nothing would ever be the same again. The end. Thank you for watching AstroMyths. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button and subscribe for more epic sci-fi tales, cosmic mysteries, and mind-bending myths. And if you like this story, or have a myth, mystery, or galaxy you'd like us to explore, drop your ideas in the comments. We're always listening. Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars and your mind open to the unknown.